I'm excited for today's topic. هاد السوجي كليتوني بيه. I'm so excited to talk about it because, girl, I got a lot to say. قاعدي buckle up. Today I'm going to talk about a topic اللي بزاف بنات have sent me and they spoke to me about it and they always ask me for advice about it. And it is how to get over somebody, how to heal from a relationship, yada yada yada. So if this is you, إذا هاد انتيا مازلكي I miss him, does he miss me? Oh, Sarah, it was like a lot, you know, you've been together for ages and it didn't work out, and you're still checking their socials and you're still wondering whether they miss you or not, or you're still checking whether, you know, you're just romanticizing and missing this person. And this is the word, it's romanticizing. This is something that a lot of us girls, I will say I was one of them. Not anymore, and you won't either. After this video, you're gonna be great, okay? This is the issue with إحنا البنات. We don't necessarily miss the actual person. We miss the potential that we thought they had. We miss the version of them that we created in our head. And we miss that little one or two nice things that they've done. صح ولا مشي صح? We're romanticizing the actual relationship rather than actually the actual, you know, the thing, the real thing is just romance. حطيتيها في دماغك. You romanticized it so much that you're not seeing the person and the relationship as it is. The person is shit. The relationship was shit. Why are you lying to yourself? علاش تكذبي على روحك? You miss the potential. You miss the kind words he didn't say. You miss the nice things he didn't do. You miss the genuinity he didn't have. You miss the honesty that he didn't give you. فهمتي? You're romanticizing it, babe. And I feel like one of the biggest reasons إنه البنات you're not moving on is not because the relationship was perfect and the person was perfect. It's because your memory is making it perfect. فهمتي؟ انتي راكي حاكمة only in the good things. And these good things تقدري تحسبيهم في هاد الأصابع، في هاد الخمسة. في حكاية 5 سنين مع السيد وعندك 5 حاجات ملاح دارهم لك. You know what I mean? So, I'm saying this with love. This is like a genuine topic because مانيش حابة تطيحي على راسك. I had a few people saying, you hate men. ماشي hate men والله ما عنديش بروبليم. بس ما نحبش أنا الظالم. ما نحبش أنا اللي يتبهلل على الطفلة. ما نحبش أنا الواحد اللي they treat women so shitty. I don't like that. So for me to have standards يا أخي وما نحبش أنا my list is very simple. For example, for like a partner. It's very simple. كون حنين معايا. Be hardworking, يعني حامي. That doesn't mean have money, but just كون, you know, be hardworking, be ambitious, and make me laugh and have like a kiki. Like I need to feel like you're my bestie. Do you know what I mean? That's it. بصح, I've noticed. يا أختي الحنان وما كاش a lot of the times. I'm not generalizing. And I see a lot of girls just accepting it. Like, oh, this is him. لا يا أختي بعد الشر. علاش تعيش حياتك with somebody that's so rude to you, so rude, so harsh, so mean. لا العكس لازم تكوني انتي نقطة الضعف. انتي لازم تكوني زعما كي يكون معاك يفشل تاع حبيبتي تاع ياي you know ماشي يدخل يشوف وجهك يدور راسو. So by the end of this video أني حبيتك I want you to look back at your past relationship, yeah, or even your current one, but past one. I don't want you to hate the person or hate the relationship. I just want you to understand what you fantasized. You know what I mean? And I want you to like make peace with the fact that it just was not for you, and there's no point for you to dwell on it, and there's no point for you إنه تحكمي فيها بزاف وتقولي أو لو كان بس لو كان مشات. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? أولتها. You are not necessarily remembering or missing the person/relationship. You're missing the highlight reel of the relationship. Have you noticed? And no, once we stop talking to somebody, the first things that come to our brain is such good times. يا أخي. But babes, you need to be careful because le moment اللي تبدأي تديري هكاك تنسى كاع الزبل اللي جوزتيه. Your brain just remembers the laughs, the little cute days, the little memories, the little sweet words and how بصح you need to also remember the crying, the anxiety, the disrespect. It's not being harsh. إنه لازم تكون صريحة مع روحك. هذه هي الحاجة ماشي. This isn't us. أكي معايا. This isn't us attacking the person. Nothing wrong with the person يا أخي. إلا من رحم ربي. إذا دلك هدا كاتاستروف يلعب على روحه. بصح إذا genuinely there's no compatibility, babe, it's okay to not just think of the good times. قاعدتك الناس we have good times with them. بصح when it comes to choosing a partner, you need to be very careful. ماشي اللي يجي تخيريه. ماشي زعما اللي جاي يضحكك ولا هذاك هو. لا there's more to it, babes. حندخلوا لهذه الحاجات. فهمتي حبيبتي؟ You need to think of the bad times, the anxiety, these things, you know, because these things put things into perspective. باسكو هكاك you suddenly stop missing the actual relationship that you've romanticized and the person you've romanticized, and you actually just see it as face value. This is it. This is what you've been through. And then eventually, you start just thinking of the good times and stuff. Then your brain starts. Maybe they were the one. Maybe I should forgive them. Maybe this is not right. Maybe it was me. It was me. And then, so let me ask you this, huh? If someone came to you now, وعطالك that relationship back, yeah? You know, the one that you're mourning. The one that you're saying, لو كان خير. Let's say somebody came back like haki, the exact relationship, ماشي the one that you romanticized, not the one that you thought all the good things about, not the one that you saw the potential in, exactly how it was. With the disrespect, with the anger, with the arguments, with the anxiety. Would you take it back? Would you? اللي قالت إيه بعدين هضر معك. اللي قالت يس ناخدو بيه بالمشاكل استناني بعد الكلاسة نتفاهم معك. واللي قالت لا let's continue this lesson. You're not missing them. You're missing the future that you've imagined. I think that's the hardest part to go through once you break off things with a person. When we fall in love, we don't just fall in love with the person. We fall in love with the future that we imagine with them. You know, like moving in together, traveling together, marrying each other, meeting each other's families, you know, these things you think ahead because it's normal. You have to think of these things, do you know what I mean? Because you're not just talking to them for the sake of talking to them, you know what I mean? You're talking to them because you want a future with them. So of course you're going to miss a future that you've never experienced and you won't experience. You know, you're mourning something that hasn't happened, but you've imagined it so perfectly and flawless that you think it is the person that you're missing, when in reality, habibti, you're not missing the actual person and the relationship, you're just missing the future you've created in your mind that is related to this person, because with that person, you would have had that future. حاجة واحدة أخرى هني, stop falling in love with the person's potential. You know, start falling for someone for face value. Like however they are, however you meet them now is how exactly they're going to be. You know, I think this is an issue, problem has a lot of the girls have. They don't fall in love with the actual person, they fall in love with the potential. A lot of you, وأنا نهضر from experience by the way, ماشي مانيش زعما نعطاكي ولا نحكي كأخت كبيرة, like I'm trying to explain to you babes the things that I've been through as well. ونورمال بصح باش نقول لك if you're going through this, we don't fall in love with the actual person, we fall in love with what they could become. شي كي تشوفي في واحد تقولي ايه هذاك باين يولي هكايا خلي let me stick around. No. ليش هكاك? You need to start looking at the patterns rather than the potential. You know, see it as what it is. ما تقعديش لهنا تقولي oh he will change, he will دوك يعقل دوك هادي نعملك هاد الحاجة. there is a topic اللي هردني كي يقول لك زوجوه يعقل يجيب بيبي يعقل. The same for women. زوجوها تعقل. لا no. You know, زواجه ويتراما هكايا. You need to be careful. ماشي اللي تجي تزوجيه ماشي اللي يجي يتزوج. We have a lot of work to do deep inside before we just get someone along in the ride. That's not fair. حرام عليكم هكايا. You know, let's say the man is fucked up, anger issues, horrible, barely has a job. When I say has a job, because if you're bringing a woman into the house, يعني راك تاخدها من دار باباها معززة مكرمة, and you're bringing her to misery. Do you know what I mean? And then when they say زوجوه يعقل, I think that's very unfair and that's not nice. You know, the woman and the man should do work separately, work on themselves, be the best versions of themselves, then decide to be in a partnership. But for you to be fucked up and get into a partnership and then drag that person down with you, why would you do that? You're agreeing with me. I can feel it, babe. Here is something that completely changed my frame of thought when it comes to a relationship or to a person. Potential is not reality. You cannot build a relationship with someone's future version. كي ما لقيتيه كيما يكون راكي فرحانة به كيما راه good. إذا ما راكيش فرحانة به كيما راه متقعديش تستناي. كاين وكاين. Okay, this I'm telling you this بس كاين وكاين. Okay, فكاين, for example, if you met each other really young, you're both gonna grow up together, you know, so you eventually will change. بس حتى تلاقيتي مع واحد راهو في نص الثلاثينات ولا ما بشو شنو ولا في الثلاثينات whatever, يا اختي however you find them is how they are. People don't change. They don't change that much. فهمتي? However you found it, if you're happy with the person you found هكاك, then good. صح, don't start falling for somebody for their potential, like لا لا دوك يكبر يولي هكايا عطيله عام ولا دوك يعقل لا كيما لقيتيه كيما حيكون because اكي تلاقيتي بيهم يا اخي, you're like this is how they are. If they don't change, would you still stay? إذا هذا the imagination that you've built in your brain, oh they're gonna change, they're gonna become this type of person. What if they don't become that type of person? Would you still stay? If your answer is no, there you go. Don't waste your time. Confusing butterflies with love. أنا حاسة إنه social media and movies have really, I would say not like messed up, but they've altered the way people think love should feel like. You know, we think, once you have like butterflies, that's love. Baby, that's anxiety. Okay, I hate to break it to you. There's a difference. There's like this nice tingly feeling, like like nice hakata, okay? And then there's there's like that's anxiety. But if you get a like little nice calming tingly sensation, then that's nice. That's a welcoming love. I would you know what I mean? But if you get that's anxiety, baby, be careful. That anxiety you get, constantly checking your phone, checking if they've replied, checking what they've texted, overthinking every word they said. And you're like, I get butterflies. That's not butterflies, honey. That's anxiety. You're anxious about the relationship. You are actively being anxious in this relationship. And that's not a nice relationship. It shouldn't be that way. You should feel calm. Your nervous system لازم يكون فهمتي اشتكي كي تلاقي this person, when you're with this person, وكان تجيك that's beautiful, بس how can تجيك all the time? That's anxiety يا اختي, وما تكذبيش على روحك تقعدي تقولي لي it's butterflies. But that's anxiety and you know it. I feel like this video is like a collection of some harsh truths اللي نقولهم لك, but that's okay. I need you to stop checking their social media, babe. Stop doing that. عن بالك شكون انتي. You know who you are. Stop checking their social media. Stop checking what they've posted. Stop checking what they're doing. فعد ما waste your time doing that. Go start doing things yourself. Maybe you should start social media, like some people. Maybe you should start, and then 6 months later we'll have 100k followers on Instagram and 10k on YouTube and 75 on TikTok. You know what I mean? Maybe you should become that bitch. Maybe you should start showing up on their feed. Maybe you should start showing up on their family's feed, on their friends' feed, so you're constantly in their face. Maybe you should start doing that instead of checking their social media. I'm just saying. Don't hate the player, hate the game. بس عشان like seriously, every time you check their social media, every time you check what they're doing, you're reopening a wound. Imagine like you've got a wound here, and it's like it's like healing, but then you start scratching it, it bleeds again. That's exactly what you're doing when you check their social media. Do you know what I mean? امحي blocky نفضي خلاص. Even like little gifts they got you, throw them away or sell them or give them to charity. Everything that reminds you of this person, army, get rid of. You don't need it. You need to think with or without this person. This is Siham's lesson, and I say this every goddamn time to my girlies. With or without him, you're fine. With or without him, life goes on. With or without him, there's still food on the table. With or without him, you're still a bad bitch. With or without them, life goes on, babes. ونورمال هذه ماشي زعما. I'm not saying it from a petty situation. غير إذا this person has done you wrong, yeah? If this person done you wrong, then say it with this attitude. But if this person hasn't done you wrong, وقاعدين ما تقعديش تندبي، ما تقعديش stop feeling sorry for yourself. Do you know what I mean? يا أختي, with or without them, life goes on. With or without them, you're still gonna wake up. Alhamdulillah, you know what I mean? You're still gonna do your thing. You're still gonna be a bad bitch. Your hair's still gonna grow. Your nails still gonna look good. Your face is gonna get clearer. You know? Healing requires distance. And this isn't because you hate them or anything, but because you love yourself enough to protect your peace. حبي نفسك يا يما. People always think when I say حبي نفسك, they think it's like a ego thing. يا أختي, it's not. يا يما, فينا اللي يكفينا. يا أختي, I don't want to wake up every day feeling shitty about myself. So of course I'm gonna start loving myself. عيب حرام. You know? Healing doesn't mean you forget them. You know? It doesn't mean you're never gonna think of them again and they're just fully هكا delete راح. You know, you might listen to a song that you guys used to listen together. You might smell a certain perfume maybe they used to wear it, and that's normal. But the thing is, yeah, with healing, instead of like thinking of them and wishing they were still with you, you just think of them as like, oh, that's a person, you know? But I'm just telling you, machine, all of a sudden you're just gonna forget them fully وكاع ما يكزيستيش في حياتك. No, you will have moments. ونورمال هدية. احنا humans, we've got a memory, and you're gonna have a situation like on a random Tuesday, or if you eat steak and they love steak, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember, sounds like هكا يجوز عليك, ماشي إنه you obsess over it. But the difference is when you're healed, instead of like when you think of them, you think, oh, I wish they were still with me. You're gonna think, oh yeah, that person, you know, الله يذكره بالخير or something, whatever you want to say, والله الله يعطيه, you know. Whatever situation you've been through, huh? When you're getting through a breakup, yeah, I think the best thing you can do is actually focus on yourself. And I know بزاف الناس يقولوها. Stop ignoring it, because it's actually true. You know when they say drink water because it helps, it does. You know when they say exercise helps, it does. Stop ignoring the fact that when people say when you're getting through over somebody or you're going through a breakup, start to find yourself again. Normal. Start becoming the person you've been waiting for. You know what I mean? I wish I can find someone that can spoil me and do this for me and take care of me and listen to me. Be that person. You know, work hard. Buy yourself the things you need to get. You want someone listening? Start journaling. Listen to your own self. You know, get closer to God. Heal. Start doing that. And a lot of people have this thing where they say, oh, you can't heal and get into another relationship. Sometimes you would get into another relationship, yeah, or start getting to know someone as you're healing, and that person will help you in the healing process. If it's a decent person, do you know what I mean? So don't knock it. Don't think like, oh, I can't get in a relationship because I'm healing. يا أختي كولي إتاي راح وخلاص. I try to be sweet about it, بس عبالك إني حاسة like when I talk to you guys, I feel like I'm talking to like 18-year-old me. فعلى بيها إني شوية harsh معها بصح with love. You know when you're getting through a breakup or when you're healing, the goal is not to actually like just forget the person. The goal is to actually build yourself so much and become so invested in yourself and so in love with you and your progress, and build a life for yourself that no matter who comes into your life and whoever leaves does not make a goddamn difference. And you need to, and this is just a safe way, إلا من رحم ربي, unless you find someone, you know, like this is a thing, yeah? Whoever comes to your life, you're a plus. يا أخي أنتيا, you're a plus sign. You're not a minus, you're not a division, you're not a times, nothing. You're good. So whoever comes to your life, they better be a plus as well. You know what I mean? You know, you got yourself, you're good, your job is good, you're good with yourself, you're happy with yourself, your job is right, your education is right, everything's right, you're good. So whoever comes to your life, they need to be a plus as well. They cannot be مش اللي يجي هكايا انت يا بلس ويجي عندك division. ما كاش. I worked so hard for me. عييت مع روحي, ضربت مع نفسي. You know, to better myself physically, mentally, spiritually. I've done so much work on myself. So of course I would like someone on my level, but just to let you know, whatever you are, you will attract. Okay? For whatever you put out there and however you carry yourself, that's the type of people that will get attracted to you. Okay? But again, it depends who you let in. So if you're a plus, you better get a plus as well. You're not a charity. Charity time is over. I'm sorry. Because I've been that person. Day and night. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. Let me tolerate. What did toleration get me? Tolerating what? It wasn't tolerating. There was a pattern, honey, and they were taking you as a fool. Normal. صح, you know, تكبري وتفهمي و you experience تفهمي إنه that's not your job. I'm sorry. I said it to a person. Normal. I said, you know what, darling? You need some therapy, and that's okay. And you cannot get this healing. You cannot heal by just, you know, getting in relationships and talking to people. You need professional help, and that's okay. And that person being واحد فاهم, they were like, you know what, I've been thinking about it for a long time. I'm gonna do it. Wallah al-azim, they went to therapy and they're great. MashaAllah for them, you know. And they were doing great. They're doing their thing. They're gonna get married soon, and I love that for them. You know what I mean? And I don't know what we were talking about. What was I talking about? Anyway, if you're watching this and you're heartbroken, you're getting through a breakup, honey, I just want to let you know you're not hard to love. You're not too much to handle. You have simply just met somebody that was just not your person, and you were not compatible, and that's okay. Normal. Okay? ما تندبيش, ما تبديش. Stop questioning yourself. Stop thinking I'm behind in life. خلاص راني 28 لازم. I'm 27, I'm 29, I'm 30. I have to just settle for this one. لا معليش حبيبتي, معليش اصبري شوية. يعني don't throw yourself. You know, you worked so hard to be the version of yourself, this beautiful version of yourself. You worked so hard to become a plus sign. Stop trying to become a division or a subtraction or something like that, you know? Stop accepting that. Normal. والله غير normal حبيبتي. Listen to me. والله غير normal. You know, yes, you went through good times and bad times, whatever, but صح, think logically. صح, you know, because we don't do this. We tend to romanticize the situation. Like, seriously, sit with yourself and think. Really? Like, realistically, you knew, like, حسيتي knew eventually that's not gonna work out. فبركة ما تندبي, you know, you just were not compatible, and that's okay. Normal. You can't force it. Eventually, you're gonna look back at this time, this relationship, and you're gonna remember how it felt like the end of the world and the end of everything. But then in reality, it was genuinely the beginning of you becoming you, the bad bitch that you're supposed to be. After every breakup, there's a glow up. That's what they say. But then, when you finally understand that and you start to think, with or without this person, I will be okay, then you're gonna glow up all the time, honey. Okay? It's harsh. It's sadly the reality. You cannot make a person the center of your life because they don't belong to you. مهما تقولوا لبعضكم, you're mine, I'm yours. يا اختي, nobody belongs to you. If you get the same love and respect back, bet. Put in the effort, do your thing. That person deserves it. That person is a good person. بصح يا اختي, if you're getting breadcrumbs and disrespect, and you're telling me this person is my world, stop playing with me. Cut the cameras. Because the right person won't make you beg for attention or consistency. They won't make you feel confused. They won't make you question your worth. يعني love shouldn't feel like a battlefield, darling. Companionship should not feel like حرب. ليش بتحاربوا? That's not for me. If I fall in love with someone, or راني حابة to create a partnership with them, it better be peaceful. ما كاينش, أنا ما عنديش أنايا wow, and anxiety and this and that. راح لي السوفي. Can't breathe. My nervous system is dead. It better stay dead when I'm with somebody. لا don't wish الهم على روحك, don't wish anxiety, don't wish stress on yourself, don't wish anxiety, you know, and that's fine. So anybody sits here, yeah, we go look, your standards are high. My standards are high because I want someone that's kind with me and that's hardworking and that wants to make me laugh. هدوهم my high standards. إذا هدوهم my high standards, we're fucked. خلاص يا لهوي. So by the time this right person comes that, you know, is serenity and happiness and is lovely to you, you know, work on yourself, love yourself, do your thing. مش اللي يجي تحكمي فيه, مش اللي يجي هذاك هو, مش اللي يجي you're like I'm gonna save him and I'm gonna, you know, build him and he has potential. No. Why would you do that? ليش تعي روحك? إلا من رحم ربي. Like I said, if someone, there's a difference between patterns and mistakes. يا أخي, babes, if someone is constantly doing this thing, that's a pattern, babe. أرمي عليك. It's like one or two and there's like apologies and genuine communication, genuinity that you communicate all the time. Normal. I think that's a good partnership. Anyway, honeys, this is just a little video. Just because then it has a lot of you are heartbroken vibes. A lot of you are shedding into potential. Let the potential go. Start working on yourself. The love you give yourself now, you'll receive in abundance when the right person comes. When the right person comes, yay! The love and the happiness and the serenity that you'll feel. Beautiful. Yeah, but don't settle for breadcrumbs. Work on yourself. Become the man you're waiting for. Normal. And then when you become that person, you get an even better version, you know, as a man to come into your life. You know, like, damn. Anyway, habibtis, I will see you guys next time. Please leave in the comments what type of topics you want me to talk about. Because, girl, you know I can chat. I can talk. Okay? I love you. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Besos.